at a very important time in history. Many white liberal progressives like to believe that we are in a post-racial time in history. But the truth is, racism and anti-blackness are still alive and well today. BIPOC are suffering daily from the effects of historic and modern colonialism. Right-wing, anti-Muslim nationalism is gaining popularity across the Western world, and anti-blackness continues to be a form of racism that can be found all around the world. It may seem like we are at a time in history when racism and white supremacy are resurfacing, but the truth is, they never went away. So while it is true that events in recent history, such as the 2016 US presidential election, have brought these issues to the forefront, the reality is that these issues have always been there. And BIPOC in white-dominated societies and spaces have been at the receiving end of constant discrimination, inequities, injustices, and aggressions. More people with white privilege are learning about racial dynamics and social justice terminologies than ever before. They are awakening to the fact that their white privilege has protected them from having to understand what it means to navigate the world as a BIPOC, and to the ways in which they have unintentionally caused harm to BIPOC through racial aggressions. This book is here to change that. It is here to wake you up by getting you to tell the truth. This work is not about those white people out there. It is about you, just you. It is important to understand that this is deep, raw, challenging, personal, heartbreaking, and heart-expanding work. This audiobook will challenge you in ways that you have not been challenged before. But we are living in challenging times. There is much work to be done. And it begins with getting honest with yourself, getting educated, becoming more conscious about what is really going on and how you are complicit in it, and getting uncomfortable as you question your core paradigms about race. If you are willing to do that, and if we are all committed to doing the work that is ours to do, we have a chance of creating a world and a way of living that are closer to what we all desire for ourselves and one another. This work sounds overwhelming, intimidating, and unrewarding. I won't lie to you. It is. You will become overwhelmed when you begin to discover the depths of your internalized white supremacy. You will become intimidated when you begin to realize how this work will necessitate seismic change in your life. You'll feel unrewarded because there will be nobody rushing to thank you for doing this work. But if you are a person who believes in love, justice, integrity, and equity for all people, then you know that this work is non-negotiable. If you are a person who wants to become a good ancestor, then you know that this work is some of the most important work that you will be called to do in your lifetime. Here's to doing what is right and not what is easy. A little about me. As we are going to be spending quite an extended time together, doing very deep and vulnerable work, I think it is important for you to know a little about me, your guide, before we begin. The first thing to know about me is that I sit at a number of different intersections of identities and experiences at the same time. I am a Black woman. More specifically, I am an East African and Middle Eastern Black woman. I am a Muslim woman. I am a British citizen. I live in Qatar, and I speak, write, and teach to a global audience. My parents immigrated to the United Kingdom from Zanzibar and Kenya in the 1970s, and that is where they met and married. My two younger brothers and I were born and spent the early years of our childhood in Cardiff, Wales, later moving to Swindon, England, and then onward to Doha, Qatar, where I still live today. My father, who is